Every growing season, Sylvan and I try to save seeds from some of the best plants in our garden to grow the next season. This is a great way to save some money because heirloom seeds can be a little pricey to buy every season, but it also helps to maintain these heirloom varieties so that they can continue to feed future generations. Our ancestors all over the world worked hard to create and maintain different heirloom varieties of fruits and vegetables, and we feel honored to continue on that tradition. Heirloom flour and grain corn is something that we really love to save seed from. It's a really important staple crop for us, and it's been feeding people on this land for literally thousands of years, which we think is really cool. Unfortunately, corn is wind pollinated, which means that pollen from other varieties of corn can blow in from up to a mile away and pollinate your corn. If you save seed from kernels that were pollinated by another variety of corn, the next generation, half of the genes of that corn will be from the other variety. And the hybrid of those two corns might be nothing like what you were trying to grow. This is especially problematic for people who are trying to grow flour corns or sweet corns, because a lot of the pollen that's in the air is from hybrid and GM field corns, which have very different characteristics. Luckily, there are some great ways to prevent cross-pollination so that we can continue to maintain and improve these heritage varieties. The simplest method for preventing cross-pollination is timing. Commercial cornfields are planted by giant tractors with precision seed drills, and those seed drills can't really get in to plant the corn until the soil moisture and soil temperature are at the optimal levels. In a smaller scale patch, we can start our heirloom flour corns and popcorns and sweet corns in seedling trays and then transplant them into the garden after the average last frost date, and that'll usually give you about a month head start on the commercial corn in your area. By early summer, your corn will be about twice as high as the commercial corn fields, and by the time the commercial corn pollen starts dropping and is filling the air, your heirloom corn should be well pollinated and no longer receptive to that pollen that's in the air. If your timing didn't quite work out, don't fret. There's another method you can use to maintain the seeds from your corn, and that is to cover the silks right when they start to emerge. You can use a little wax-lined bag or even a paper bag to cover the female part of the flower, and then it won't be receptive to pollen from the commercial fields. Then once all the silks are out, you can hand pollinate it with pollen from the corn that you're trying to grow. This is actually how commercial hybrid seed producers hybridize the specific varieties that they're trying to cross. But in this case, we're using the exact same method to prevent hybridization. If you have a larger corn patch, it's probably not feasible to hand transplant or bag all of the seeds like that. So something that you can do is plant a wind barrier to prevent the pollen from blowing into your corn. So planting tall plants around your corn patch like sunflowers, grain amaranth, and sorghum can actually prevent a lot of that pollen from ever reaching your corn. And then if you select the best looking ears from the middle of your corn patch, the likelihood that the pollen that got to them is not the pollen from the corn that you're growing is minuscule, so you can feel very confident saving seeds from those ears. Or if you want to be extra cautious, you can do a smaller patch and use the transplanting or bagging method and then just save seed from that smaller patch to grow out the bigger patch the next year. If you're saving some heirloom seeds in your garden this year, we want to say thank you for doing that important work. Make sure to share some of those seeds with your gardening friends, and maybe also share this video with them so that we can continue to maintain these important heirlooms for generations to come. I hate self-promotion, but hey, gotta make a living. So I'll mention that we also have an online gardening and foraging course, and if you're interested in this type of information, you'll probably get a lot out of those courses, and we're really proud of what we put together. All right, thanks.